Have you ever felt like everyone else had a head start while you were trying to catch up? For as long as I can remember, I have wanted to become a veterinarian. When I was younger, I imagined helping animals, caring for them when they were sick, and making a difference in their lives. But as I got older, that goal never changed. However, there was one thing that always made me feel different from many other people who wanted to work in veterinary medicine. I personally did not grow up with a lot of animal experience. I wasn't the person who spent years working with livestock, volunteering at clinics as a child, or constantly being around animals. Because of that, I often felt like I was already behind before I had even started. Looking back, that challenge became one of my most unexpected teachers. Not having animal experience growing up taught me that everyone from a different place and success depends more on perseverance than on where you begin. Today, I wanted to share why I felt left behind others, the lesson I learned from that experience, and how I applied that lesson to continue pursuing my goals. To begin, I would like to explain why this experience felt like such a setback. One reason I felt behind was because many future veterinarians grow up with opportunities that I did not have. Some people have had pets their entire lives, others grow up around farms, livestock, horses, or clinics. And by the time they enter college, they already have years of experience working with animals. As I learned more about veterinary medicine, I noticed how common those experiences were. Hearing people talk about their background sometimes made me wonder if I had started way too late. It felt like everyone else was several steps ahead of me. And because of that, I sometimes compared myself to other people. The more I compared my journey to theirs, the more I questioned whether I would be able to achieve my goal of becoming a veterinarian. Although this experience was discouraging at first, it eventually taught me an important lesson. Over time, I realized that everyone has different opportunities and experiences. Some people begin their journey earlier while others begin later, and some people have access to resources that others do not. None of these differences automatically determine who will be successful in the future. I also learned that comparing myself to other people was not helping me move forward. Instead of motivating me, it made me focus on things I could not change. I couldn't go back and create experiences that I never had. What I could do was focus on what I was able to do in the present. Most importantly, I learned that success is not determined by where someone starts. Success is determined by the effort, persistence, and determination of a person who shows while working towards their goals. Once I understood that lesson, I began focusing on what I could control. One of the ways I applied this lesson was by volunteering at different shelters like the Houston Humane Society, Aggieland Humane Society, and those experiences allowed me to gain hands on experience with animals and learn skills that I would not have learned otherwise. I also continued pursuing my education and opportunities related to animal care. Instead of worrying about what I lacked, I focused on building new experiences and learning as much as possible. With every opportunity, I became more confident. Each step forward reminded me that progress matters more than perfection. I no longer felt like I needed to have the same background as everyone else. I simply needed to keep moving toward my goal. Looking back, this challenge became one of the most valuable lessons I have learned. Growing up without animal experience initially felt like a huge setback, a major disadvantage. At the time, I thought it might prevent me from achieving my dream, but instead it became my most unexpected teacher. It taught me that everyone starts from a different place and success depends more on perseverance than on where you begin. So today I discussed why I felt left behind others, the lesson learned from experience, and how I applied that lesson to pursue my goals. The biggest lesson I took away from this experience is that success is not about having the perfect starting point, but it's about continuing to move forward from wherever you begin. And here are my stays. Thank you.